all good.
We're all good?
You are.
Well, folks, sorry we're a little late. It's been a active afternoon. Computers, rescue, all sorts of good things. As usual, we'll start with our town clerk report.
Okay. I just wanted to start off, and I gave you copies of all the results for the Text My Gov survey. And I wanted to go through that a little bit. We got 75 responses, and if you look at each page, it gives you the question that was asked and the answers. So it was very positive on the different ones. The questions kind of based on what the different things that the system could do. So if you want to look through those a little bit. Looking through everything, I think it's around like 80% of the people that took the survey would like to see the system in place.
How much? It's more like
It kind
80,
of
93%.
well, it kind of fluctuates on how they're going to use the
Oh,
system.
oh,
Like,
okay.
So if they just want, like, you know, to ask questions about office hours, only 74% said that they would use it for that. But if they had a road problem and would use it to send a photo of it to the road commissioner, you know, 85% would use
Okay.
it.
I was just looking
So-
at the front page.
Oh,
and
yep.
The totals there.
Yeah, so 88% of the people that took the survey use text messaging all the time. So, and that's the first question. Uh, 78% support the funding of the service. And only 51% said that they would attend an informational meeting, so it feels like that, you know, they can understand how the system's going to work, so.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry. I should have been listening. I was signing.
The question 11 asked people that took the survey if they wanted to attend an informational meeting to understand the
okay.
service better, and
Yeah.
51% said yes, they would like that. So it seems like by answering the questions, they understand basically how the system works.
Uh-huh.
Question 10 is a sheet of all the typed in answers that people put for input, if you wanted to kind of look at that. Some were very strong positive, and some did not think it was necessary, so. But not everybody had to write a response. They had the choice whether or
Right,
not they
yeah,
wanted to write a
yeah.
response or not, so.
Seems like a lot of the written responses dealt with lack of cell service or bad cell
Yep.
service. Which of course this won't address, but we can't address with any kind of meaningful budget.
Right.
I like the comment, let's get out of the dark ages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some people didn't want to spend the extra money on it. But, yeah. There's some in caps, very necessary, good for the community. So I guess my question is, we've got the results, we canceled the survey. I guess steps forward, or what are we gonna do with all the information that we have? Are we gonna move forward with this? Is it gonna require a vote at town meeting possibly? What are your thoughts, I guess?
I think if we use ARPA funds, it obviously will need a town vote, you know, and we do have some special town meetings coming up that we could add to it, add that to it.
Okay.
Yep.
Remind me what the first year costs are, if you would?
It's right on question
Is it
11.
3?
Oh, okay.
Or not question 11, it's, sorry. Question 9, 3,000 for the first year, and then every year after that would be $2,000. And they do require a 3-year contract because if you were to use the GIS system, as far as circling a road that was concentrated, if you wanted messages to get out to say, just people on North Road, that would require the GIS part of it. And they have to build that, so 3-year contract they would require for that.
Reasonable. But we or you build the
The
groups?
circle.
Okay,
They
okay,
have that all in there, but basically we take a map and circle where,
okay.
say they were gonna close a road down for a culvert replacement or something, it would
Yep.
affect these people
Uh-huh.
and send it out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And can you say that you want all messages to go to some people? Like, for instance, you might want them all to come to you, or I might want them all to come to me, just
yep.
to know what, kind of get a flavor of what's going on in town.
Everything would be available on the computer-based to build it. It would be
Okay.
on the computer, so we would see all the ins and outs, like the questions being asked, the responses, this and
Okay.
that. So
Yeah.
say for road issues or whatever, a text message could go right to Maya, and we could also get a copy of it here. We'll always get a copy of it on the computer.
Mhm.
So we can always kind of look at, what people are asking, the biggest use they're using for. Maybe it's all roads, maybe it's just notifications.
Yep.
Maybe it's this, so.
Is that an app from TextMyGov
It is.
that you put on?
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's the whole thing.
And the town will have it?
The town, it would be on the computer,
Uh-huh.
but say, there was a big pothole on whatever road.
Mm.
And they wanted to send it to report it.
Uh-huh.
So they could send a picture of it to Maya, it would show up as a text message to Maya.
Uh-huh.
Here's the problem, here's the photo.
Yep.
And we would also see that it was on the computer, that it got sent, and it got sent to Maya. So it's all managed on the computer, basically.
Oh,
But
okay.
we can pick, if someone wanted to know, like, how many road messages, we could add Dave and Maya. The text message would go to both. We can
Okay,
pick-
okay.
You can
Yep.
add as many people as you want.
Okay.
Okay.
That was kind of what I was
Yeah.
getting at.
Yeah, so-
Okay.
But would Dave have access to the computer to see?
It would be at the office, so
Okay.
any of the staff could
Okay.
take a look at the whole database part of it, so.
Nothing that he could put on his, at home? Or-
I could ask them, I'm not sure if there's like an app
Yeah,
or something, there's
just
probably a
to see-
login, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
just to
Mm.
see if you could set up a view only or something like that,
Yep.
user.
Yep.
I'm guessing it's gonna probably be a login system, so yeah, I don't see why this
Yeah.
office staff can't have
Mhm.
that for sure.
Mm.
And also, we can always look at the questions being asked, like you said, there's automated responses.
Yep.
So if there's a question that's not getting answered, we just tailor it saying, okay, people are asking this, but we don't have an answer. So we
Yeah.
just add that in there. So
Mhm.
it keeps getting better and better
Yep.
as you go.
As you go and you see what people are using it
Yep.
for and,
Mhm.
And they have usually the base stuff, they'll ask the normal questions,
Uh-huh.
contacts and stuff, and they put all that in there. We don't have to build anything. And they're gonna teach us how to use it, obviously.
nice,
so.
nice,
Mhm.
yep.
Yep.
And
So
you would
if-
enter the results monthly on the Facebook
We
page?
can always
or-
log in and see what's going on with it, yep, if we have the system.
But would you normally post the responses every month or every quarter, or how would you?
I would do the select board on how it's being used, but not,
I mean, if you had, to let people know that the system is being used.
oh, yeah, I can, yep.
Yeah, certainly
Yeah.
initially.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
right,
Seems like that might get a little tedious, but
right.
If anyone had a question on how it was being used, we could always figure it
Yeah.
out. Yep.
so I'd say, let's do it. And with that being said, before you guys even answer, it is a multi-year contract. So we
Right,
need
we
town
can't-
approval.
But you're
Right.
gonna know the prices.
Yeah, we
that's
know the
on
prices,
there.
so there's no problem
Yeah.
entering the contract, but we need town approval.
And if you
So,
wanna look at the contract ahead of time, I can get that draft and just so you guys can go over it and make sure it's what you wanna get into.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt.
Yep.
yeah.
Just one look at it.
Uh-huh.
We wanted to use the ARPA funds too,
Right, for the first year.
right?
Special town meeting.
Well, we're not gonna schedule them just for that.
No, but I mean, we have one coming up if we can.
Right, there's like 3 ARPA questions.
So are you looking at getting this on the The upcoming?
I mean, it'd be
Town
sometime
meeting?
in June.
Yeah.
I don't see why
I would.
not.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, if the town doesn't want to use ARPA funds,
Right, then it's,
I'm not worried about the ARPA funds, I'm worried about contract.
So,
or didn't want it, then we could, I don't know, we'll figure something out, I
Yeah.
suppose.
alright.
But if they don't
Okay.
want us to do a 3-year contract,
Yeah.
I'll get ahold of John tonight and just forward you the contract.
Okay.
I think
Sure.
he has it already,
Yeah.
so
All right.
depending on how tonight went.
So our agenda, our warrant is growing for this special town meeting.
True.
question is, when will it be?
Yeah, really. We haven't heard anything from
No,
Desiree.
no.
Oh, boy.
Yep,
I want to add too, you know, we got 75 responses on this survey. It was a good way of getting information.
yeah,
If there's anything else that we might want to use this for, it's a great tool.
Oh, that's
to
a good
get
idea.
You got it
input,
for a
so-
year, is that right?
I've already closed it.
Oh, okay.
the survey, yeah.
Because it was, the
Cost.
cheapest was per year, per month, so you had to cancel it within a month
Oh,
for that
okay.
price.
Yep,
So
Yeah.
it does come with a price, but
yep,
if it's something we really need input on, you're gonna get more
yeah.
input than just a town meeting. I
Yeah.
think,
Right,
so
right.
it's a
Survey
good tool.
Monkey,
Yeah,
yeah.
good.
I know we used to use that all the time.
Are we all set with the text my dog, or?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm always concerned about being a quasi-computer user, that we're addressing, and the people that are responding are the people that have computers, on computers, and are comfortable. And we have X hundreds of people with no computers, or no access, or don't quite know what they're doing with them. I mean, they turn them on to them. And I just wonder how we make sure we're getting those people involved, or if we can get them involved.
Mhm.
I don't know how we do that, I mean.
There was an ad in the shopper's guide, and there
Yeah.
was a paper form of the survey that was available at the office, and we even offered to send it to them.
That's right, you did, you offered to
And-
send it.
Right, I
Yep.
know that the
And we
shopping.
put it out
does.
on the table as well with a big notice, and we haven't had one request for a paper survey, so they can also come and
I don't know
vote
if
at
that's
the town
good or
meeting.
bad.
well, those people that aren't, you know, maybe likely to use it are going to continue doing what it is they do to get information
Right.
in whatever way that is, but we have an influx of newer people and an influx of, I mean, the town's younger people are coming up and being, you know, the percentage of younger people who use media is growing.
Mhm.
It's the reality of it.
Yep.
So. But if it's gonna be on the town meeting, they can come and voice their opinion there
Yeah.
too, so.
Mhm. Yeah. Good.
So we had some questions in the office, just today, actually, 2 of them. Are we continuing with the free food pickup, or?
I don't have dates yet.
Okay.
Okay, we had, our last advertised date was May 22nd, and I will be in touch with Youthful Maine to find out what it is they want to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
May 22nd.
that
That's the
was.
lunch.
Oh, that was
No.
the lunch. That was last week.
It goes all together.
Yeah.
It's all blending.
It's merging.
It's food, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
So it is gonna continue, we just don't have.
I
dates yet.
believe so. I
Okay.
believe so. The woman
Okay.
who heads it up mostly, it wasn't there, so she had a
Okay.
family emergency in Florida, so when she's back, we'll find out.
Excellent.
And they sounded like, you know, yep, go ahead, you know, full speed ahead.
Was
And maybe
there-
we'll start holding them outside.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what they're used to doing, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of people last pickup?
Yeah, we had
last
about
week?
44 families.
Perfect.
Yep.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
So just a few reminders, we are closed this Thursday. Renee and I are going to Inland Fish and Wildlife Training in North Berwick. We did reach out to Porter Town office. If anybody has got to do a registration on Thursday, please go to Porter Town office, they'll take care of it. We'll be closed Friday and Monday for Memorial Day. And we do have the extended hours on Tuesday when we return, so just wanted to mention that again. Nomination papers are going to be available after Memorial on June 3rd for the municipal election. And Tuesday, June 11th, is going to be the state primary election here from 8 to 8. Absentee ballots are available. You can request them online, you can call us, or come into the office and vote absentee. Political party changes, it is a primary, they have to be done by this Friday. I did reach out to elections because I was concerned that we're closed Thursday and Friday. You can go online if we are closed and do your political party changes online.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna put the link and the information on our website and the Facebook page. And so that will be completely fine if you do it there.
That's something new.
So
That's
we
good.
will,
Mm.
we will put a sign on the door as well, so
Mhm.
we wanna make sure, but regardless, it is due Friday, so.
We can do the car registrations online too,
Yep,
correct?
yep, and that's also on our door, if you need, Moses, your boats, anything like that, you can do those online if we're closed. Normally Fridays, Portertown office will help us out, but they're closed for the holiday this week as well, but they are gonna be open on Thursday, so. Any questions, just give us a call. And that's really much all I have. I did hear a little bit about the cemetery fund discussion. Was there any more information on that to be considered, or?
You mean when we're talking about the fencing?
Just in general, there was a request from East Parsons Field for a little
Right.
bit of help.
There was, right, and I think what everyone said was that the money was gonna be spent on
The town
the
cemetery.
town cemeteries
Okay.
first? Right,
Right.
okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, yep, thank you.
As usual, we've approved the notes from last week's meeting and the agenda for this week's meeting. We paid our bills, not much this last week, $19,900. Ads to review, there's an ad going in concerning the planning board notice of public hearing. That is going to be changed to a later date.
Yeah.
The timing didn't allow us to hold the meeting on the 29th. There are a certain amount of days needed by state law between notification, publication, all that good stuff. And we missed that by a few days. So the planning board or the town will be getting out a word on when the meeting will be rescheduled. Hopefully in the next few weeks.
That's a public hearing.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
public hearing.
Danielle, you have that on the web, so you might want to take it
Yeah,
off.
I got it on Facebook, I didn't get it on the web
Yeah.
yet, so yeah, we'll
Okay.
take that right down.
This is a week where no reports are due. Code enforcement is gonna be bringing in his
Yes.
reports when he has a meeting with us.
Yeah, thanks, I got it right here.
Could you ask Ed that he provide that so it can be in the agenda?
Provide, I'm sorry.
His report, his monthly report.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, you're the only one that gets a copy.
Well, I give it to everybody, or everybody has it.
I can't post it. What report is it? The
See,
code?
his monthly report.
Yeah,
We need to keep it
I don't get copies.
posted. Right, because I don't get a copy.
Okay.
I will make sure that you get any copies that I get. You will. You too, Danielle.
Thanks.
All right. Comprehensive Committee, the 28th is the next meeting at 8 o'clock.
6?
6 o'clock, thank you. Now my eyes are going.
Stop,
Not
no.
much left. Dave on the Secaucus, do we have any,
No, we don't have any update yet.
we did get a, I don't know why we have April. I think we have April.
Doesn't it say April on it? I just got it.
I know, but I think we have it. Anyways,
Well, we aren't done with May yet, so it
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
be May.
it's it's stapled to the.
okay, all right.
It's the end.
All right, so this is the April.
Yep.
For Sockeye Rescue, 80 calls. They covered 73 of them. Mutual aid was supplied by adjacent towns for 7. Advanced life support was utilized 90% of the time.
Wow.
And the town broke down in 21 for Cornish, 20 for Hiram, 17 Parsonsfield, and 22 Porter, so it, good indication of the number of calls per town and the type of calls we're getting. They did notice that the time of, to arrive at the scene was basically 11 minutes average, and the times range from 2 minutes to 31 minutes, depending on the distance from the station. Obviously, we live a little farther away, so we're going to be in the higher time frames. Maya is still gathering FEMA information for reporting. Is also running around grading a lot of roads and still taking trash and brush to the salt facility. And Jen and Dave says working on cannabis, which I know is sort of taking a little hiatus due to medical leave type thing, but Jen, do you have anything more you want to,
No, we're just waiting to hear back from our lawyers. So,
okay.
nothing yet.
And as you mentioned before, we had the food pantry pickup.
Yep, the free food pickup.
Yep.
Last week, we did well. About, and that seems to be what we average, is like 44, 45 families. So that worked out well. We have our community do you want me to add anything? Oh, yeah, I see. Community cafe tomorrow.
Yeah, which is sold out.
Sold out, sells out really fast, really fast. I'm looking through here to see. We had a workshop this afternoon on the communities on Parsons Fields. We're working on a commitment to resilience, which has to do with climate change and energy efficiency. So there was a form that a lot of people filled out, questions just to ask about hazard mitigation and information that we can take with Southern Maine Planning and Development and come up with some ideas for the town and eventually get a grant. So that is a start. That was good. We have a lot of information there. Next week, we're doing a community-wide meeting of different emergency management personnel in the area to come up again with another community plan for emergencies, whether it's warming shelters, cooling shelters, or electric outages. So we'll work on that next week. And the biggest news, I think, for the town of Parsonsfield is that we now have access to Tri-Town for all the same waste that Baldwin, Porter, and Hiram have, except for household trash and bagged items. And tires. No tires, no bagged items, because that means that they would have to spend time looking through the bag to see what's in there. So no bagged items and no household trash. You still have to get a pass at Parsonsfield Town Hall.
It still costs.
The pass itself doesn't cost,
No, but I mean
right,
the
but when you
disposal.
take your items to Tri-Town, yes. The fee schedule is on the website, and Did Emma send that forward to
She
you?
did,
She
yeah,
did, yep, so
yep.
we'll have the fee schedule on the website and maybe available to hand out when
Absolutely.
people come in so they're not surprised.
The hours, did the hours change as well?
I don't have the hours listed, but we can ask them to send that too. You mean in terms of Tri-Town?
Yep.
No, it'll be the same as it's
Okay.
been, yeah,
Okay.
same as it's been, so, yeah, any day. It's not limited to 1 day a week, or it's not limited to a 5-day pass that we have. If Tri-Town is open, you can take your lawnmowers, microwaves, mattresses, just no tires, no bagged items, no household trash.
So the 5-day limit went away as well?
Yes,
So they can realistically use the same permit that we give them?
We're still giving permits.
we'll still get a pass.
Yeah, so
Right.
the 5-day limit is still there for the permit, for the pass.
Well,
Or
I
do
mean,
they
what-
take one pass and use it like all year?
well, I don't think that they're taking the passes from people, but if you can take your trash any day, I don't know that, you have to have a pass that says you're from Parsonsfield
Right.
Right.
But usually we write down what they're disposing of and they have 5 days to get rid of it.
to get rid of it. You don't have to write down what they're disposing of anymore,
Okay.
because it was limited.
So what people are gonna say is they're gonna take that pass and use it multiple times.
They should be able to, unless we
Okay.
as a town say, you only have 5 days to do
Okay.
this.
I just
Let me
wanna-
clarify that with
Yeah.
them. We can
Because-
keep it at 5 days for now. It's really a trial for a month to see how it works out.
Right.
We don't want it abused, or we'll just go away entirely, but,
Okay.
right. I say let's keep it to the 5 days. Do you
Yeah,
guys
I
agree with
would.
that, since that's what we're doing now? But it's just it's not limited to certain items anymore.
Did
They can take a mattress, they can take a couch, they can take.
did they mention hazardous electronics at all? I know we had planned to have separate pickups for those, but will they take them?
I
They
bel-
do take universal waste, don't
Right,
they?
yeah.
They do take
Yep.
electronics,
Right,
but no hazardous.
no hazardous,
No.
right,
Okay, so
Yep.
the paint has to be a separate,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
And I mean, if we have an electronic pickup, it's like us having bulky waste now, we still do that for free,
Right.
so.
right, that's why I was
Right,
gonna,
so, yep,
if that's,
there's a fee schedule to what they'll take and how much it'll cost,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's good news for Parsonsfield.
Should we clarify the passing with Emma or?
No,
Are
that's-
you gonna wait till the next meeting?
Yeah, I'll wait till the next Tri-Town
Just
meeting, let's
do
keep it at
5 days.
5, because
Okay.
that's what we have now, so, yeah.
The meeting of emergency people that you're attending, or maybe even facilitating, I'm not sure. Many years ago, and I'm thinking maybe between 15 and 20, the health center actually facilitated a meeting to talk about emergency
Yep.
response.
Mhm.
So I'm just wondering, I don't know if they have been invited, or maybe to a future meeting if they haven't.
Yeah, yeah, but I've been in touch with somebody who is on that same.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was the one held at the elementary school, I think, or the middle school, and
Uh-huh.
there was, yeah,
Oh, no, are you talking
Oh,
about the
no.
one that I'm referring to?
yeah.
No, it was at Portertown office, actually.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe that's where it was, but,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, many
Interesting.
years ago. though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
and you mentioned the health center had some emergency supplies?
Yep, something that we'll hopefully pull together and make lists of what towns have to offer.
Be nice if we could get it consolidated,
Sure would be.
get all 4 towns working
Yep.
together and
It's kind of our idea. Yeah.
Dave, you?
I just have a couple of things. I submitted our insurance renewal forms today to risk management. Thank you, Danielle, for getting those forms done. And I put on there that we had sold the small generator.
We
So
have?
before, well, we haven't.
Oh, okay.
Before September 7th, which is when I think it renews, although they may be renewing it July 1. September 7th is when our old one expired, so they
Okay.
picked it up then. Anyway, so we'll say before July 1st, I would like to sell that. You guys have already said it's okay if we do that.
Right.
The other thing that's out there is the riding mower, and I think we should sell that too.
Well, we certainly,
It hadn't been used in 10 years.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
Can it still be used?
probably. I'm sure the carburetor's gummed up and the gas tank will have to be cleaned. It might need new tires, but, and a battery.
all right, well, we have
Not
authority to
sounded,
sell
not sounded like a bargain to
About
me.
small items like that, I believe
Yeah.
up to $500.
$1,000.
1,000, yeah.
It's 1,000, okay.
That's what you guys got, yeah.
So we can put an ad
Okay.
together,
Yeah,
shopping
so I'll
guide.
put something together with my idea for prices at least, and go from there. All right, thank you.
What about the, have we heard from the engineer on the salt shed?
I haven't, no. I
We've been
tweaked
getting
him
reminders,
twice.
yeah.
And I haven't gotten a response, so I'm thinking he got a better offer for this
Huh.
week.
Okay,
But I will do that again. And that's it.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was my question for you, was what happened to the engineer?
Yeah.
But, all right, folks, that really concludes well, it doesn't conclude the meeting, but we're going into executive session to discuss some personnel issues. And after the executive session, the meeting will be closed, so no one will miss anything.
You need to say what the,
Well, I was thinking of that, but there's just so much,
it's in the pink folder.
It-
Okay, good.
employment issues, 1 MRSA 4005-6A, so.
Very good.
Thank you all for listening, folks, and I'm sure we've all had a wonderful time.
Yep.